Hello, my name is Tim, my company is Sports and Touring, and we are performance Jaguar specialists. It is a great pleasure to have this XKR here in our stock. Good XKRs with low mileage and decent history are very hard to find. We are constantly looking, and when we do locate them, it is our delight to inspect them very carefully, service them where appropriate, and this one has been to Marshall Jaguar in Newbury for a main dealer service, and then offer them for sale. It's a beautiful example in stunning liquid silver paint on these beautiful 20-inch Nevis pattern wheels with excellent tyres. It's in fine order, everything works exactly as it should, from the heated and cooled seats through to the DAB radio, which was an extra cost option, one of several extra cost options on this XKR. We don't set a lot of store by the number of keepers a car has, but I know that some people do, and this is a one-owner XKR. The same gentleman who bought it brand new sold it to us, and it'll be a great delight to move it on to its second owner. Let's take a look around. We're living at a time of great change. The change from petrol, internal combustion engines in sports cars towards other means of providing that performance, electric and hydrogen. And so I think the XKR is a very important car. It's Jaguar's last petrol-powered Grand Tourer. And what a Grand Tourer it is. 5 litres of supercharged V8, a luxurious and comfortable cabin, a tremendously engaging driving experience, a big boot, which means you can set off to explore those roads in the north of Italy without needing to be too frugal with your packing, and all in a very beautiful package. These stunning lines of the XKR, the way the haunches flow down to the sides, the way that on this beautiful example the liquid silver paint encapsulates the form of the car, and the way that all of the little details, the bright quad exhaust pipes, for example, the little chrome accents like these that we see here on the side vents, and so on, all add up to a very beautiful package indeed. And this one, well, it has been very carefully looked after. It's clearly been an occasional pleasure, not a daily driver. The mileage tells us that, and the service history does too. It is in impeccable order. It's been looked after. There's no sign it's been through one of those awful mechanical car washes. We've refurbished all 4 wheels, of course, and that's with a factory finish, down to bare metal and then powder coating. And that is making them look very shiny indeed. The tyres are Dunlops and they're excellent. Let's take a look inside. The car's supplied, of course, with 2 remote key fobs and the owner's book pack. And pressing the unlock button, we can see the heated power fold mirrors deploy into position, and we can enter the cockpit. And what a beautiful space this is. It's luxurious, it's affluent, it's very comfortable, it's very stylish, with this beautiful black leather and contrast ivory stitching throughout. And it's in great condition too. The tread plates, pretty well as they left the factory, I dare say. The driver's seat showing no signs of the kind of wear which you might expect on a seat side bolster, which hasn't been carefully looked after. Everything about the car, in fact, is very impressive. And sitting down into the cockpit, into this luxurious leather seat, the satisfyingly reassuring clunk as we close the door, and into this beautiful cockpit. The design and the technology come together just sensationally well. Looking around, of course, we've got the seats in the back. Now, this is very much a 2+2. It's not a car for touring with 4 adults, but you could squeeze a couple of adults in to the back for short journeys if you need to, or if you've got kids, they would go in there as well. Here under the centre armrest, we've got a glove box with USB and iPod connectors and a handy stowage. We've got the twin cup holders, and the armrest actually slides back to reveal them when you need them, and then slides forward again when you've finished your drinks. Electronic parking brake, of course. And then to explore the rest of the centre console, let's start up the supercharged V8 using the stop-start button there. We get that lovely satisfying exhaust note. The active adaptive headlamps have just done their little self-test in front of me, and I'll turn down the Bowers & Wilkins stereo so that you can hear what I'm saying. On the centre console here then we've got the dynamic mode selector switch, we've got the active speed limiter switch as well, for when you're not using cruise control but you want to avoid a speeding ticket on the motorway perhaps. Rain, ice and snow mode, and the DSC stability control switch. This rotary selector which takes us from park through reverse and neutral to drive and on into sports gearbox mode. And then forward of those things we've got the ashtray, of course, with a 12-volt cigar lighter there. And on the centre console, all of the climate controls here, including separate temperature controls for passenger and driver. The CD player slot, if you want to listen to music on CD on the move. And then coming up to the infotainment screen, which is very fully featured indeed. On the home page here you can see that we know what radio station we're listening to, and we can select the heated steering wheel and heated and cooled seats as we wish to. Then going into each screen in turn, on the audio one we can select AM, FM, DAB, CD or portable audio. Going back to the home screen we have the climate controls, which enable us to direct the air as we desire it and also adjust the heated steering wheel and seats and turn the air conditioning on and off. Back to the home page, and the phone option there includes all of the Bluetooth telephony that you would expect on a fine car, and it works very well too. It's very clear and crisp when you're on the move. Satellite navigation, of course, clear display, easy to use. It's not perplexingly difficult to enter your destination and then follow the guidance. And then finally we come into the vehicle settings option where we can adjust the various parameters around the car as we need to. Going back to the home screen, and we can move across to the dashboard there, the beautiful clear dashboard, speedometer on the left, RPM on the right, and in the middle the display which at the moment is telling us we need to put a drop of fuel in the car. Coming to the steering wheel, on the left hand side we've got the infotainment controls and Bluetooth telephony button. We've got, of course, automatic active adaptive headlamps, and over on the right cruise control and the rain sensitive wipers. And then coming round to the door we can see there that we've got the full multifunction memory seats, including side bolster and lumbar bolster adjust and front or thigh bolster. And then down there on the door, if I open the door, you'll see the loudspeaker for the Bowers & Wilkins stereo. It's a beautiful cockpit to sit in, and it's in such excellent order throughout. Unblemished, unmarked. There are no signs of anything amiss in here whatsoever. It really is a tremendous tribute to the one owner of this car. Let's turn the engine off and take a look in the boot. One of the lovely features of the XKR is its rear end, I dare say. Those beautiful quad exhaust pipes and then this spoiler. It's a pretty big spoiler for its time. It's aerodynamically effective. It's a useful little kit. It provides some downforce, but it looks so good too. And of course, there's the high-level third brake light, which looks very good as well. And just ahead of that, the antenna for the DAB radio and satellite navigation. But we're here to talk about the boot, so let's lift up the tailgate and have a look in this space. And it is a usefully large space. Plenty of room here to get your bags in for a long trip abroad. You'll need to pack soft-sided bags rather than hard-sided suitcases, I dare say, because the shape is slightly awkward. But taking account of that, there is plenty of room for everything you'd need for quite a lengthy stay away. Under the boot floor, by the way, there are two options on XKRs, and this one has the Space Saver spare wheel set. You could remove that if you wanted extra space for a long trip and just take an inflator and some gunk with you, but it's there for the moment, and it's another extra cost option that was specified on this car from new. Again, everything in lovely condition. The carpet is fine, there are no unpleasant odours, no stains, no marks anywhere. Just like the rest of the car, it is in very impressive order. Let's take a look at the passenger side. The passenger side of this XKR is every bit as good as the driver's side. The door card as it left the factory, unmarked, unblemished. Likewise, the scuff plate, which in fact looks pretty well brand new, and that is most impressive on a car of this age. Coming up to the dashboard, and the beautiful leather with the contrast stitching is in perfect order, as is the passenger seat. The beautiful perforated leather, which enables the heating and cooling system to work, is there in perfect condition, and again, no marks or blemishes anywhere to be seen. This is a genuinely very impressive XKR. Under the bonnet, and there is the V8 power plant, 5 litres of supercharged engine, producing 510 horsepower and pushing this car from 0 to 60 in just 4.8 thrilling seconds, and on to a top speed which is artificially limited at 155 miles per hour. And if you should have the opportunity to drive a car like this on the Autobahn, then it is easy to reach those speeds. This is an agile and rapid mover. And yet one of the brilliant things about the XKR is how easy it is just to waft along from A to B without making use of all of that performance and just enjoying the experience in the beautiful cockpit. Again, you can see under the bonnet here that everything is in very fine order. The VIN plate there is present and correct. There are no signs of anything amiss anywhere under the bonnet, and the service history, reflecting its low mileage, is very fine indeed. And as I mentioned, we've taken it to Marshall Jaguar Newbury, who look after us so brilliantly, for a main dealer service ready for its next home. So it's been a great pleasure to show you this beautiful XKR. We are Sports and Touring. We're just outside Andover in Hampshire, open 7 days a week by appointment only. You're very welcome to telephone, email or WhatsApp us with any inquiries, or if you'd like to arrange to see this car in person or by video call. We keep a Google Drive, an online folder for each of our cars where you can see high-resolution photos which you can zoom in on, and PDF copies of important documents like the motor check report, which shows the car's excellent provenance. If you've got a car to dispose of on your buying journey, we will give you frank and honest advice about the best way to achieve the maximum value with the minimum inconvenience. And if you'd like to chat about finance, we can do that as well. We're authorised and regulated by the FCA. Do please take a few moments to read our reviews in Auto Trader. I'm very proud indeed of what our previous customers say about their buying experiences with us. And I will close by saying thank you again, and we do look forward to hearing from you very soon.